Right, right. Yeah, my name's Alan Pearson. I'm a retired art teacher. I love all aspects of the arts, ceramics, painting, drawing, and photography and so on. And I have done a lot of cartooning, and I really enjoy
Look at the
cartooning.
camera rather than the laptop.
Beg your pardon?
Look at the camera rather than the laptop.
Oh, right, right. Do you want to start again?
No, let's keep going.
Are we going, are we?
We're live.
Okay. Well, people ask me about drawing, why do you like drawing so much? And I'm a little bit like Dr. Strangelove. I pick a pen up and then I sort of start to twitch and then I start drawing. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to end up with. This is the result of a very boring staff meeting. I sat in there and for 40 minutes and it was a torturous experience. And I was just doing these little drawings, and this is a fairly tortured sort of drawing. So anyway, it kept me sane and happy.
Nice.
So in recent times, I wrote and illustrated a book about Benito, who was a pirate who came into Port Phillip Bay trying to elude... Oh, I've got to look here.
That's cool. Carry on.
Benito was a pirate who was plundering the Spanish Main, trying to escape the authorities. He came into Port Phillip Bay in 1821. Victoria hadn't been proclaimed a state at that stage, and supposedly buried his treasure at Queenscliff. Later on, we were living on the other side of Victoria, and there was an old man, probably in his late 80s, unmarried, lived in a little house full of books, fairly eccentric man, wore a German helmet all the time. And he told me that Benito had actually buried treasure in a river near us, a long way from Melbourne. So I did a fair bit of research, and there's a lot of truth in it. I even came across a farmer who resented all the treasure hunters who spent a fair bit of time creeping, trespassing on his property. So this is Benito's treasure. This is the galleons going down to Skull Rock, down at the bottom of Wilson's Prom. This is the photograph of it. It is a truly majestic piece. If anyone gets a chance to go down there, go and have a look. It is quite amazing. These blokes, these pirates, are actually all my mates. This is John, Big John. He's a predator. He's the best fisherman I know. This is Jerry, who was an English teacher. This is the school principal. And this is Bob, the biologist. German extraction. I usually draw him with a helmet on, but not German helmet, but not for Benito. This is a painting I did. It probably confuses a few people, but we've done a lot of travelling in Australia. And for me, this is about the redness of it all and the space. The whole picture is about space. The colour of the reds change as they come down. This is a gorge, this is vegetation at the bottom of the gorge. It's so simple, but it's something that I love, I think. It glows. It's a really nice painting. So we
move on. You have your back.
It takes a long time to explain the stories. I won't go into it, but I'll just indicate some of the drawings. When the pirates were travelling up the river to bury their treasure, they came across a lot of Australian wildlife. They were pretty wild men, caused a lot of trouble all around. As you can see here, they're very evil-looking men. These are 4 of the pirates, just counting up the treasure. They decide to bury the treasure, so they're heading up the river. Now, all this is uncharted territory. They don't know anything about it at all. Once again, more Australian wildlife here. it's a very exotic area. Pedro here sees a bird up on the tree, decides to shoot it, and or pretend to shoot it, and then all the people are calling out. All these pirates are saying, "Kill it, shoot it, pie for tea, pie for tea." So he does that. And we'll have to pause for a minute because the rest of the story is around the back.
That's right.
We could just, we could just do a couple of these. Is that all right?
Sure.
Yeah. A lot of the cartoons I do are actually about boats that I've owned. Whatever. Yeah. You right?
Yep.
Boats that I've owned, like runabouts and catamarans, and we had a boat called Seal. It was an old cooter boat. This up here is poor devil's probably waiting for Alan. He's always late, so these blokes have waited for a long time for me, and maybe a few weeks and decomposed. This one is really about these blokes are sitting there fishing, and he says, "Wow, now I know how Van Gogh felt." So
that's playing with my eyes.
This is Seal leaving, and one of my mates forgot to untie it, so I nearly pulled the jetty over. That's one of the catamarans. Boom was always dangerous. This is Big John here, and this is Mark Houlihan. Boom hit him, and you can see he sort of addled his brain a little bit. It's probably not as sophisticated. You right there?
Yep.
When the bird was shot, I suppose the colours indicate the blood and the death and destruction of the bird. They were in a fairly sacred spot. The lichen queen, who was the protector of the area, she was outraged, so she called up all the birds to attack the pirates. Here they are, cockatoos attacking the pirates. And then she called in the crows, they attacked the pirates. And then because they were all weighted down, they had all the armour and guns and big boots, and their boat capsized and they sank to the bottom. And they're down there now forever, just waving around like this in the cold water. It's very dark down there, but because the water's cold, they won't decompose. So if you're ever up there and you're near the waterfall, if you look down, sometimes look very carefully, just not on the waterfall. You can see little sparkling things like bubbles and that, but sometimes they're the jewels and the diamonds and that being moved around. Now, this is really a bit of a masterpiece in a way. It's based on a Charles Lawton movie. He was touring around in Southern America and murdering little old ladies. And the last one that inspired me was he murdered this little old lady, tied a body to the wheel of a 2 model Ford, pushed it into a dam, and she's down there for years because the water's cold. And that inspired me to treat the pirates that way.
Nice.
This is almost an aerial view, but it's an abstract painting too of boats and the waterways and the sand and so on, and the textures and the sky. And we used to live down near Port Albert in Victoria, but now we live at Tin Can Bay, and they're rather beautiful places to try and depict. Spent a lot of time travelling around Australia, Central Australia, the Pilbara, Kimberleys and so on. Very special. And fairly embedded in my memory and mind. If we move over here, these sweet ladies, I love drawing. Have we got it already?
Yep.
I love drawing large ladies, and I don't mean to offend anybody, I just love the shapes. They're beautiful shapes and forms. Not everyone's got to be a model. Anyway, as you can see from here, there are lots of beautiful rounded curved shapes. These are some frontispieces I did. Sometimes I used to do work for the local newspaper. These are just little monsters that sort of occupy my mind sometimes. And it's a lot of fun sort of creating monsters. This one here, the festival that these represented was always had a different theme each year. So these are, this is the school principal here. And these are just bits and pieces, figures and things in the air. Few more monsters. I just love the shapes. They're twirling, twisting. They've got tentacles reaching out at everybody. This is just the cut paper version of it. It's quite interesting for people to try things like that. Down here, fish eating fish. There's sort of a little war going on out there with everybody eating everybody. Over here, we lived in a big mud brick house on top of a hill. Lots of kangaroos around, and it was a beautiful place to live, so we don't live there anymore. Fish dancing is quite a remarkable sport. So if you're greedy and you catch too many fish, they can sort of change the way you do things. So fish dancing is very animated, sometimes painful. This is just something that fills your mind up a little bit more. Monsters. The cat is a symbol of, I suppose, naughtiness.
Yes. They're fantastic.
But,
They're fantastic.
this, I don't know, can you see this?
Yes, you can.
I probably should have done a dress rehearsal. These are mates of mine. This is John, the ultimate predator. He would be the best fisherman, you know. He's about 6'4" and just loves fishing. This is Jerry, an old English teacher. And John saying, "Come on, fair suck of the sauce bottle, Gerald. 8 fish on 1 lure. It's not cricket, it's just not cricket." That's the way Australians talk. So I don't think Jerry even knew that he had all those fish on. I've got a bit suggestion we can scrap all this and start again.
No. This is what people want. This is you. This is what makes these things real and come to life.
Skull Rock features a fair bit. It really is a majestic place, unforgettable. Anyone who goes there will never forget that experience. I suppose this is an interesting picture. Yeah. Here, John, the predator, is saying, "Look, Bobster, I keep telling you, with 5 fish in 4 hours, $23 for fuel, and $12 for bait, we'd be better off staying home and buying fish and chips." Because John's pretty tight. He counts every cent he's got. Father Christmas came to grief here, I suppose, but he eventually escaped and got out to help the little boys and girls with their Christmas presents. This is, I love this. the boys are out fishing, they're totally preoccupied with their fishing, and then all of a sudden it all goes dark. They don't realise that they're at risk. So, you know, this one here is just a little play. An ugly cubist man is calling this beautiful thing ugly. So you can have a lot of fun with these things. Just it's sort of meandering through life a little bit.
Yep.
This over here was very special to me. Cartooning can be used for all sorts of things. Frank Rowe was a gifted athlete, university graduate, a restaurateur, and things like that. And at one stage, he developed motor neurone disease. So he ended up, after many years, ended up in hospital, just lying there for about 6 years. And he wrote 4 books in that time. And the only way he could write them was he had a stand with the rod here, so that was A. B was 2 hits, so there weren't many Zs there because they were 26 hits. Frank asked me to do this. You know, he had his MG, he was a very good tennis player, great swimmer, lovely bloke, and poof, all of a sudden his life was, you know, changed, transformed. This is probably not politically correct what I'm going to say, but we're out at Fairfield Hospital and I was pushing Frank along and we're going this long corridor and glass doors are opening and closing all the time. We came into one room where there were sort of slim men with T-shirts on that said, "I'm a man's man," and all these things. So we're in an HIV wing. But Frank turned around and he was in this state here, and he looked up at me mischievously and said, "Do you know what these people are thinking? They think that you're my lover and I've got AIDS." He's a beautiful man. If we come around here, this is a nice painting. It's really about the joy of painting, the freedom of paint, the lots of pinks and whites in there, and the Australian bush is just a lovely place to be. So the brush strokes are really very free. You look into any square inch of it and the colours are vibrating and moving. Australia really has a unique environment. It's just beautiful painting.
So is that oil? Is it acrylic? What's the...
They're all paints.
Oil.
Yes. This one over here is another little paint. They're all oil paints. It's almost like a vertical view, but it's about the space and the colours of the outback. And the suggestion is the river is all dried up. And so it's sort of more about the feeling of the whole thing rather than anything else. So, I don't know.
Well, how long is the exhibition on?
This exhibition. The exhibition is running for the whole of March, and I would make a strong recommendation that you come and have a look. There's some other very good work here, and I would also strongly recommend that you buy the book on Benito. It'll become a treasure trove in time.
Those Australian heirlooms.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for taking...
I have owned a series of boats over a period of time and they've brought a lot of joy to me. This was one of the catamarans, and I think most people have been. You sail a little bit too close to a jetty full of fishermen and connect their lines, and most of them don't have a sense of humour about that. So this is John, Rojo, the Predator, and Evan, the principal. This is another one here. it never actually happened, but it has come close to happening a few times. You know, you're just sailing along, enjoying it all, and a big shark fin goes past. This one down here in the Port Albert Yacht Club, young Grant came through and just about wiped our boat out. So I'm just suggesting to him, Grant, why don't you get a bloody haircut, because his hair hanging down over his eyes. This one here is Winners or Grinners. You've got a little boat, 3 fishermen in it, lots of big fish. If you note here, the predator has caught all the fish. The other 2 aren't very happy at all. So it was always a game. There's another one. One more for the road run pole and we'll make tracks. So I've got that many fish on board, the boat is sort of going down a bit, and there are sharks around. The poles always have birds on them. This is a little bit of a play. These guys are sitting on the bottom, so it's quite surrealistic because the fish are all around, but they don't realise they're sitting on the bottom. This is really about fishing, like jenny fishing. The boys used to go down and fish a bit, and there was always sandflies with that banner. It was almost like a fog, and they're quite big down around in Victoria there, and can make your life miserable very quickly. These are some of the posters that I did for the local paper for the Tour Festival. I can't remember the names of the actual activities, but it's meant to reflect the parades and things like that that are occurring, or the theme that's occurring at the time.
Yep.
We talked about all these, I suppose. I sort of enjoy looking at things from sometimes an aerial perspective. So there are lots of beautiful patterns and colours in nature, and I suppose it's just an animated bit. These are all fishing boats, you know, just people out there, little 16-footers fishing. But really the colours that you find in the sand, the textures and things, are really quite inspirational. And the skies just quite mellow, beautiful.
When did you move to that aerial perspective?
Oh, I've probably been doing it on and off for 10 years or something. But yeah. I sort of painted lots of different things, but at different times I have. I really enjoy doing aerial views, yeah, because they're quite abstract in themselves. And this one didn't quite work out. There are lots of gorges and in those areas. So this is about 3/4 finished. But when you go into the gorges, the colours, the reds, the ochres and things like that become quite luminous. They're really unforgettable spaces. This needs a little bit more work done on them.
What would you do when you say you need a little bit more work done? What would you do?
The grasses here need to become a bit more like grass, not pieces of paint stuck on there. A little bit of texture and animation, a little bit like the grass in the drawing up there. Yeah. And this is sort of a little bit illusionary because it looks like a cliff and then this is further back and these all recede, but in actual fact the whole thing is surrealistic. It's not a rational use of space actually. When you look at it, it's not 2D and it's not 3D. So. But that's a deliberate thing, we're just exploring space.
Are there any others you'd like to do some more talking about, Alan?
This is the book I did about Bentos Treasure. It includes a lot of spaces and places I've been in, and also quite a few of the characters. So, well, it's a little bit hard to do too much.
So is this the same artworks as you've got here in the gallery?
Yes. Yeah. So all the originals are on display here at the gallery. So it was a lot of fun doing it, exploring, showing Australian native life, retribution for doing evil things. There's always a price to pay. But I'm sure it's going to become a collector's item, so I'd strongly urge you to buy it. And also at the same time, you're helping a struggling artist to survive.
So come down to Gattaca's Art Gallery in Maryborough for the...
Yes, and come down to Gattaca's Art Gallery in Maryborough. They have exhibitions running for a month, and it's a really... it's a credit to the people running the gallery, and it's I forgot what's a great government initiative to sort of promote the arts and encourage people to exhibit. You could do that again if you like, just wipe all that.